Yesterday, 14th of April 2026, on instructions of our mandate as voluntary experts, legal experts on international law, and in the interest of the public and interest of the voiceless, I took an initiative to give final notice to the government of Nigeria and the government of Cameroon. Let me begin with the first note, or the final note before litigation, because the other one is the final note of enforcement. Way back in 2018, 10 southern Cameroonians, or called Ambazonians, English-speaking nation that is supposed to be a state in Africa, 10 professors and legal lawyers were abducted from a hotel in Nigeria, in Abuja, on the instructions of the late President Buhari, blindfolded, beaten up, kept incommunicado, and they were renditioned against the non-refoulement policy, where refugees had already been accredited by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in Nigeria. They had been given their identities, and they had all the qualifications for resettlement elsewhere, if not Nigeria. They were renditioned at night, taken to Yaoundé in the morning, at 5 a.m. sentenced in a kangaroo court for life. We pursued the case. As you know, southern Cameroon, Amazonia has been fighting on fire to make sure that the judgment enforced. And we put a caveat on their embassies. Therefore, it is up to the government of Nigeria itself to look, or the government of Cameroon to look at themselves. Was there this judgment of UN? I will escalate it to the United Nations Secretary Legal Department with the Secretary General, whom I have contacted already, the Legal Department in New York. Why have these people failed to enforce, to work on the recommendations? International agencies must be respected. You cannot have a diplomat by the name Amina, Dr. Mohammed Amina, in UN as the Deputy Secretary General, and she fails to adhere to the principles of the same organization she works for. Thank you very much. The Naira 10 of Cameroon is an enforcement order, as you have seen, and that is the truth. We are on it. We have not given up. And I promised people here, I will not leave any black person, any African, anywhere on earth, whether white, yellow, as long as you have been wrongly accused on wrong evidence concocted, I will stand by you and speak for the voiceless. Thank you very much. God bless.
The UN that has to do with arbitrary detention of individuals, that they are ready to engage Nigerian government in international courts. How does it come to you?
It tells you that Biafra has gotten the momentum that is required. And I can only say it here that Biafra has become a global interest of so many countries currently now, including the United Nations including the United Nations. And secondly, before now, we have seen that United Nations has been busy in accepting and revealing and taking a proper look on documents that is definitely going to see the recognition of Biafra. It was starting from the Biafran passport, starting from documentations on international relations and conflict resolutions, and that has been accepted in Hague. Before now, this is exactly what happened in 2022 when the Nigerian government decided to disobey an arm of the United Nations that sees to issue that had to do with arbitrary or abuse of human rights and international law. Yes, based on the international law, I will always say that there was no need for mazi nnamdi kanu to be rendition or to be tried in Nigeria. Therefore, Nigerian government contravened the international law that supersedes any national law as it stands now. Mazi nnamdi kanu is not being tried because of self-determination. Mazi nnamdi kanu is being tried because of the conspiracy to that of a charge against him.
Sorry, if you permit me to jump in here, in specific terms, if we are looking at a pre-forma litigation notice dated April 14, 2026, signed by Dr. Masanga, the group warned of heavy litigation in British courts if their demands are not met. I'm not telling that it's serious.
Of course, it's definitely very serious. The UK government has already given their consent to that, to the surprise of many. The UK government actually waking up at this point to know that after all, that mazi nnamdi kanu was a UK citizen, and the kind of judgment that was carried against him was actually something that was being tailored, suspected to please a certain interest, especially the Fulani, and of course Bola Ahmed Tinubu's intentions, because of what he intended achieving at this point in time. Well, the question is, the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu who is sentenced and trying to make mazi nnamdi kanu what mazi nnamdi kanu is not, label him a terrorist, bring out a fabricated list, was the man who was also behind, so the Igbo's agitation for Oduduwa separation from Nigeria. You can see how unfortunate these people are. And in all this, after this actually happened, the UN issued that statement, that ultimatum, I think somewhere around 2022. Today, kudos to Dr. Masanga Lumumba, who has been on the forefront to rally African leaders, the AU and the EU and the international community, to get Nigerian government appear in London court. And the consequences of it is that this government definitely are going to face international criminal court, ICC, for contravening the international law. Thank God that the UK Kestama and the UK Parliament has already taken a position on this, and they have come in to tell Nigerian government at this. And we don't know what actually transpired, because we saw recently that Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually visited London. We don't know what the position of UK on this, and why there's sudden invitation within 72 hours to get the Aso Rock arrested for them to go and answer questions in London over how mazi nnamdi kanu got involved and contravened international treaties, including Commonwealth agreement and covenant that was sabotaged by Nigerian Buhari and Nigerian government.
Okay, I want us to look critically into this, because we are seeing this as a legal action that is based on UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention Opinion number 25/2022, which found that Kanu's extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria in June 2021 was unlawful, and that his continued detention is arbitrary. The group argues. You look as if this is monumental and this is mind-blowing.
Well, of course it is. I tell you that I keep on saying it, and nobody can stop the rising sun. And you can see very clearly that in every nook and cranny in the global world now, it is being discussed. The UK has opened their court, and the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government, or James Omotosho, all of them are going to face the consequences of what has happened. It's not when you cut down a tree, that is not when the tree begins to die. I can tell you that. And Nigerian thought they have gotten away with that unfortunate incident. Remember, the African court, the AU court, the ECOWAS court, all of them are also behind mazi nnamdi kanu recently. But we must say kudos to Dr. Masanga, who has vowed before now that the Nigerian government can never get away with this, and the northern Fulanis who influenced this thing, and it came very clearly under Tinubu. A southern president, a Yoruba man, was the one who sentenced mazi nnamdi kanu to Sokoto prison. I think ignited anger, even though he has gone from one country to another, especially UK and France, trying to lobby and silence them with Nigerian money. But unfortunately, Dr. Masenga insisted, and all the UN agencies that are involved insisted, that we are not going to accept any bribe. The Nigerian government, a time will come, they are going to answer for the atrocities that, I don't keep on saying it, Nigeria is a member of Commonwealth. The Kenyan government is ready to pay billions to compensate mazi nnamdi kanu for the atrocities that actually took place in that place. The Interpol, which had their headquarters in France, has also denied getting involved with that kind of criminality that took place in Kenya. Yes, we need to know who that were involved, the Kenyan police and the Nigerian police, intelligence report that were involved in that calamity, and who in government that were also involved is totally going to be exposed. Tinubu might not have chance to contest 2027 election again based on this, because he is going to be physically presented, and if he failed to honor this invitation in less than 72 hours, I can tell you it might lead to deployment of United Nations forces, or can lead to extramilitary decision or deployment, or it can lead to anything, because you are looking at United Nations as a global body, even though there have been a lot of reservation over the motive and fundamental responsibility of United Nations that has to do with conflict resolution, which most of them now, it looks like a lame dog, just the way AU is behaving, like a lame dog, just the way it was. Because if those powerful global institutions were very active, mazi nnamdi kanu shouldn't have been where it is today. They wouldn't have hide under the issue of self-determination, and they hide under terrorism, prompt of terrorism charges. I would use James Omotosho, to commit that blunder. James Omotosho will be crying and weeping now, regretting and gnashing his teeth, because he is going to face, the international court now. He's going to face people with clear mind of litigation in this process, a clear mind of the law, what the international law says, regarding extradition, and of course extradition agreement which Nigeria and Kenya do not have. Even if they have, I think they have been protected under the Commonwealth treaties.
Let me say that this is not the first time that the Kanu is getting favorable judgments. Remember that before now, a court of appeal in Nigeria ruled that nnamdi kanu was extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. As such, and the federal government of Nigeria lost every right to prosecute him. We understand that the Nigerian government dragged the case to the Supreme Court that had them to come and start the case de novo. That apart from that, we have seen nnamdi kanu triumphing in the Kenya courts, where the Kenya court equally ruled that the process of bringing him to Nigeria was illegal. And even in that judgment, they find those who were complicit in the rendition. And this is coming from international angle, of course, trying to compel Nigerian government to pay an order of arm of US.
It is a clear-cut compromise process. We know actually the way mazi nnamdi kanu was, persecuted, was a clear-cut gang-related judgment that was meted on mazi nnamdi kanu by James Omotosho. We always say it very clearly that and there's no law. Mazi nnamdi kanu do not go against any law. And that is why IPOB is being recognized all over the world, except Nigeria. So, if you look at the judgment given by the appeal court, why did the Nigerian government respect at least the law given by, until they compromised the court, until they begin to use a certain influence and begin to position. It can, remember how many judges, how many lawyers, that refuse to attend to mazi nnamdi kanu's case because they don't want their hands dented. But this Omotosho, according to the report we are hearing, collected billions of dollars and think he's going to destroy Biafra. You can see that the UK they ran to now has already presented an invitation inviting the figures who are involved in that illegal judgment against mazi nnamdi kanu, and which Omotosho is going to be asked to appear in the UK court, and likely if it's found guilty, he is going to be they're going to withdraw his license, and Tinubu definitely is going to face an international criminal court to answer questions on how he got the law that sentenced mazi nnamdi kanu to Sokoto prison.
Just because of what he said, remember that in the course of that prosecution, nnamdi kanu himself specifically was asking Judge Omotosho, show me the law. Okay, and that phenomenon, show me the law, and become a slogan in the world, not just Nigeria.
All over the world, anywhere you go now, even in the London court, what we are hearing is also that Dr. Masanga keep on asking, show me the law. The United Kingdom courts, judges there, please, where is the law that sentenced mazi nnamdi kanu? Where is the law? And the same thing mazi nnamdi kanu was saying, has been echoed all over the world today. Today, UK, Britain, Kestama, and the House of Lords are struggling to unveil the mystery and of where they invoked that particular section of the law that sentenced mazi nnamdi kanu without, without, you cannot, that's the argument. There was an extraordinary rendition, which by that process, it is already a criminal act, which is supposed to be treated first before the court proceedings. And look at now, you sentence somebody to court, you convicted somebody and sentence him to jail immediately. It is never done. When you convict somebody, there should be a certain process before you now pronounce, sentence on that figure. But it never happened on the case of mazi nnamdi kanu. It was purely a rush hour thing. It was purely a rush agenda thing. But now you can see that the whole thing seems to be backfiring, and the United States of America are putting Israel are trying to understand actually what is going on. The global world are focusing on Nigeria just because of mazi nnamdi kanu. And since mazi nnamdi kanu, was sentenced, you can see what is happening in Nigeria. Everywhere is confused. The political parties are confused. Aso Rock is somersaulted. Everything is collapsing. The whole structure, including security, everything is just as if and something actually they really thought they anointed. And that's what the Bible says. Touch not my anointed. You can see what the whole thing has brought now. So I wonder what is actually going on in the mind of James Omotosho at the moment, Malami and the rest of them, because they will all be invited, including Brutai. They will all be invited to ask, to render, and to be asked to how would I put it, to come and give account on how they manufactured a law that does not exist. And remember, these are laws that came to understand that does not exist again. Then how can you use a law that does not exist in the Nigerian constitution or law and use it to sentence somebody? And that is where the confusion is.
Just from what we are saying, because apparently some people are saying that the section and the law upon which nnamdi kanu was prosecuted reportedly got, of course, repeat in the past. That under Nigerian constitution, you cannot try a man under a law that has been repeated. And that was why nnamdi kanu repeatedly was asking James Omotosho, show me the law. But again, beyond this, in the course of that prosecution before the sentencing, nnamdi kanu was asking Omotosho, do you have a right to waive my final written address? And he never got an answer.
And they can never get an answer because they meet a superhuman being before the court. They met a very resilient figure, a personality. They need a man who knows what he's doing. They need a man that they cannot offer bribe. And they need a man, they met a man that never believed that can come out in this generation. Mazi nnamdi kanu was a stumbling block, they know. Mazi nnamdi kanu was the one that exposed the Fulani agenda. Mazi nnamdi kanu enlightened and reawakened the consciousness of millions of Nigerians to what is happening in Nigeria. Then why come that the federal government themselves have never think of going to that direction? Where Mazi nnamdi kanu foretold the conquest agenda of the Fulanis. They never went to that area. Then, and which was the basis of his agitation. But they never go to that area. Or they come about, they forgot that, they have successfully crowned Biafra. The Nigerian government has successfully given out Biafra to mazi nnamdi kanu with that judgment. They have successfully, made Biafra very popular. They have successfully, divided Nigeria unknowingly to them, because now the global legal team, the world judges are now going to sit down and look at it properly and be able to take a proper decision that would transform and shake Africa at the end of the day, because they have seen it very clearly that mazi nnamdi kanu is not a terrorist. Mazi nnamdi kanu does not use gun. Mazi nnamdi kanu ran the most peaceful movement in the world, which is the IPOB. And everybody knows, and that's why IPOB is physical everywhere in the world. But in Nigeria, can they now tell us who is the one now exposing this Fulani agenda? That is why Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who people also believe that he's also a pro-North, he's also a pro-Islam, he's also a pro-Fulani, the Northerners are denying that. They're not the one that sentenced him. It is your brother from the South that sentenced him. Then why would Bola Ahmed Tinubu free his own people and sentence mazi nnamdi kanu? But now the whole thing has backfired. The UK is asking questions, and the global world is asking questions, the United Nations is asking questions, and the US is asking questions. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria end has finally come.